Particularly today, there's a ton of these headlines about right-wing pro-Trump groups planning to sow chaos around polling sites in the election. Right-wing pro-Trump groups forming an army to try to stop the counting of votes. Paramilitary pro-Trump groups planning to menace people. Pro-Trump groups planning violence around the election. Bringing back all the things they tried to do in 2020 to overthrow that election, up to and including the violence they tried on January 6th in Washington to stop the certification of the vote. You've seen all these headlines about how it's all coming back. They're going to try it all again. You know what all of that is? All of that is crime. Violence of any kind for any reason is a crime. Intimidating election workers or public officials or voters is a crime. Paramilitary militias are themselves a crime. The leader of the Proud Boys is serving 22 years in federal prison right now. I mean, even the fake electors thing, impersonating electors, that whole fake elector scheme was a crime. It was a crime in 2020, and just because you're thinking about trying it a second time doesn't make it any more legal than it was back then. Law enforcement didn't know what these pro-Trump groups were going to try to do in 2020, right? Law enforcement didn't know what these guys were going to do in 2020 any more than the pro-Trump groups did. They sort of felt their way through it and just crimed along the way as they made stuff up. But now law enforcement knows what these pro-Trump groups and the Trump campaign are going to do. And if these guys are planning the exact same set of crimes in 2024, they're just planning on doing more of them in more places. This stuff doesn't get any less illegal. It just means there's going to be more arrests. Tonight in Philadelphia, the district attorney there just gave a news conference reminding anybody who's excited about committing crimes tomorrow to try to mess with the election. He gave a press conference reminding that those crimes will be treated as crimes. Just because you're thinking about doing your crimes for Donald Trump doesn't mean they're not crimes and that you won't be going to prison for committing them. Watch this from the Philly DA. I mean, inject this straight into my veins, honestly, but also, please, just watch this.
I want people to be reassured that when they get up tomorrow to go vote, if they have not voted already, that everybody in this city is working and has been working for months to make sure that there will be nothing tough about that experience and nothing to fear in that experience. But I also want to be clear, anybody who thinks it's time to play militia, F around and find out. Anybody who thinks it's time to insult, to deride, to mistreat, to threaten people, F around and find out. We do have the cuffs, we do have the jail cells, we do have the Philly juries, and we have the state prisons. So if you're going to try to turn an election into some form of coercion, if you're going to try to bully people, bully votes or voters, you're going to try to erase votes, you're going to try any of that nonsense, we're not playing. F around and find out.
Pennsylvania officials also circulating the hotline you can call to report voter intimidation in that state. F around and find out, we're not playing. That applies to anybody who wants to commit crimes, targeting voters or polling sites or anything else about our election. And you know what? It doesn't just hold in Philly. It holds everywhere. I would just say one last point here. It also applies to anybody thinking about trying to paper over those crimes to try to give them an air of legality. I mean, there's a reason why Rudy Giuliani is not only under indictment right now, he also no longer owns any of his worldly possessions. Because Rudy Giuliani used his position as Donald Trump's lawyer to come after innocent poll workers in Georgia who have now literally sued him out of his house and home. Just a few days ago, Thursday, Halloween, the lawyer who quarterbacked the fake elector scheme for Donald Trump was indefinitely barred from ever practicing law in New York State again. I mean, while they are taking away the law license of the guy who organized the fake electors last time, which got all the fake electors arrested, here's Politico.com reporting today that Republicans are nevertheless bringing all the fake electors back again to try it one more time. Whereupon, let me let you know, it is still illegal, and you're all gonna get arrested again.